My name is Angela Rosoff, and I had the privilege of interviewing Jessi Marshall, the designer, founder of Petite Culture. You can find her on at Shop Petite Culture, just all together on Instagram. She has a very powerful presence and a very incredible eye for detail, especially for the petite body like mine. I've been a fan since she jumped into Instagram and have been following her, loving her and her work and supporting her. So in this interview, you'll find me gushing and also learn more about her personal story and how she beautifies from the inside out. I hope you enjoy this. Thank you so much for being here. Bye bye bye. Bye bye bye. Okay, so welcome to the Beautify Inside Out podcast. I'm so glad that you're here. And today I have the privilege of interviewing Jessi Marshall, who is the founder and designer of Petite Culture. Welcome, Jessi.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh my God, I want to learn all about you today. I'm just inspired by your Instagram account being so positive and just supportive of petite culture because it really is a thing, right?
It is. Yeah, no, absolutely.
So beyond like your own personal experience, how did you decide to move in this direction, Jessi, to have an Instagram
Oh my
account and you're
gosh.
designing clothes, right? Like,
Yeah.
how did all of this come
It's
to
it's a
pass?
loaded question. It kind of comes
Okay.
with a story. So
Bring
I'll
it.
just
Oh, we
start
love
from the
it.
beginning. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I've always been a very creative person. I love drawing and painting. So that's always just been, I take that from my mother. My mother's an artist. She's awesome.
Oh,
And it wasn't until high school that I was really, it was very apparent that I was just not growing as my peers were. It was very apparent I was just going to be short.
hmm.
And I had the hardest time in high school finding clothing, as we all did. All of us petite women struggle so much trying to find properly fitting clothing. And especially in high school when you want to fit in with everybody and wear the trends. And I just couldn't. And it really, my self-esteem suffered a lot because of that. And I thought, why don't I just design my own clothing and I could start my own petite brand? And I did. I had that idea. I graduated high school. I applied to a local fashion design school here, and I got accepted. I also had won scholarship money with an essay describing how I wanted to become a fashion designer and create clothing for other short women like myself who struggled. However, I did not end up going to that school. I don't know, I just got cold feet and I wanted something more stable, for a career. And I went the completely opposite route. I went into the medical field. So I worked in healthcare for 12 years as an ultrasound technologist. Loved my career, but I always had that like creative side of me. And fast forward to August of 2022, my son, he is special needs and he was having a lot of challenges at school. So I had to make the hard decision to leave my career. And I am now home with him. I homeschool him. But again, I had that inkling like I need to be doing something with my life and for myself. And that same year in December, I kept getting this targeted ad on YouTube, and it said, how to start your fashion brand without going to fashion school. And I was intrigued and I was apprehensive because, nowadays I feel like everybody's trying to sell you on a course and you don't know who to trust. But it just kept popping up and popping up. And finally, I went to my husband and I said, hey, I really want to try this. And he's been telling me for years to go back to school and start my own brand because he knows how much of a struggle it is,
Yeah.
to find clothes. So to have his support, and I got the course, and literally the rest is history. Everything I've learned up to this point is from that course, and I'm about ready to launch here soon. So it's kind of
Yeah.
crazy how it all happened, but I'm a firm believer that when something's destined for you, like it's just gonna happen. So
Oh my
yeah, that's my
gosh.
story.
I love
Yeah,
it. Well, it's so practical to go
yeah,
like a route. Healthcare, is
Mhm.
unlimited potential for
Right.
careers, but you're have becoming a mother,
Hmm.
having to, adapt and change. I love how
Yes.
you are now attending to yourself as well. Like
Yes.
you're attending to your own passions,
Hmm.
enlivening, beautifying your life. And when I found you on Instagram, I think you maybe had 100 or something followers. And I was like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I love this petite culture. It speaks to my heart so much because
Yeah.
I'm older than you. So I remember if you had trouble finding petite clothes, like I know it was a problem because I had so much of a problem. My mom
Yeah.
was, she made all kinds of things, including my clothes, and she made the prettiest, sweetest clothes for me. But you just want to have a quick shop for the dance that you're
Yeah.
going to, or whatever. And
Right.
so let me ask you, so when you were younger, did you make your own clothes too, or did your mom
I
inspire
didn't. And
you? No,
well, so my mother does know how to sew
curious.
and she would tailor my clothing all the time. And it's funny because I didn't quite realize how much I didn't start fitting into things until eighth grade specifically. I have this like core
Mm.
memory. It was the eighth grade dance, the school
Oh my
dance, and we were
gosh.
trying to find a formal gown for the first time ever.
Yeah.
And I just remember everything was so big and
Uh-huh.
swimming, and a lot of the dresses, they have all the designs on the bottom, so you can't really hem dresses like that. And I just remember
Hmm.
feeling so disappointed. And the dress
Yeah.
I ultimately chose was just really basic. I went to the tailor, had it, hemmed,
Uh-huh.
and I still go to that same tailor's to this day. Like they are my go-to for everything. But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean that I will say that is the one thing that the skill set I don't have is knowing how to sew, and it is
Hmm.
on my like to-dos for this year. I just want
Okay.
to know how to do that because it's so vital for us.
Well, but I think you can design without having those skills. I mean, obviously you're doing
Yes.
a beautiful
Yeah.
job, doing that right now. But I just want to thank you for advocating for petite
Yeah.
petite
Yes.
culture. I love that it is a culture because I grab so when I am in a group of women and there's some
Mm.
petite ladies in there, I always saddle up to them. We kind of
Yes.
talk about things. It's a different experience than I think,
It is.
for your average type woman.
Yeah.
But
Right.
I love what you're up to, and I'm just wondering about the support that you're getting. Are you getting other fans like me who are like, oh my gosh, Jessi, like you tapped
I
into something
do.
really special.
Yeah, it's actually been surreal. I did not expect it to, the following to grow as it has, and I'm so grateful. I have so much gratitude towards that. And, I think it all comes down to this has been so needed for so long.
Yes.
And I intentionally chose Petite Culture as the name because I just feel like we've been so ignored for so long and just left out of the entire fashion industry, but we are our own little community, and I wanted to create kind of a world that didn't exist and just have a space for all of
Mhm.
us to come together and relate and understand each other's struggles. So that was my whole intention. It's just so much bigger than myself. It's not just a clothing brand. Like I just want it to be so much more and really build that community. So that's really important to me. And I'm connecting with so many people, and it's been amazing.
Oh, I love it. Well, I love
Yeah.
everything that you're doing. I especially love how you on Instagram kind of teach us how to stay fresh with our looks and how to wear pants, which is something that I actually have a hard time finding off the rack, even the petite
Hmm.
sizes, because I'm 5 feet. And
Right.
usually it's scaled for like 5'3", most
Hmm.
off the rack petite clothing. So I still
Yeah.
have to have things, I still have to have them
Yes.
altered.
And I don't
It's
think people
funny.
realize, so in, the fashion industry, petite starts at 5'4",
Okay.
but the clothing that is made is right at 5'4".
Right.
So when I'm 4'10", that's what, like a 6 inch difference. So, and that's the other thing is when you're buying, let's say, a flared pant, and you have to
Mm-hmm.
take 6 inches off of that, it doesn't look how it's supposed to anymore. It completely cuts off that whole piece. So it's probably, yeah, the number one frustration for sure is pants and bottoms.
Yeah.
And I think I've told people my whole life that I just don't like wearing jeans and pants, but it's not that I dislike it. We've just never had the option of a really great tailored piece of, jeans or pants for us. So it's kind of like,
Yeah.
why even bother if it's not out there? But those are the
Yeah.
two items, my trousers and my jeans, the
I
first
know.
ones that I sent to the manufacturers. And I'm like, do these first because and we need it. We need it.
We need it. I know. So I
Yeah.
wear, so I am really known for just shopping at certain brands like J. Crew.
Yeah.
J. Crew has a great petite section, and
Yeah.
I love me some J. Crew, but it's kind of boring after a while. It's like the same. I'm
Yeah.
wearing because they always have the
Yes.
same classic styles. So
Right.
I really admire your very chic designs. I mean, look at you right now. Like, what a gorgeous
Thank
top!
you.
Like, oh my gosh, I'm just really excited about all that's manifesting for you. So
Yeah.
keep going because I want to buy
Thank
stuff.
you.
I
Of
want to buy stuff. So
course.
something I wanted to ask you, like style wise, is
Yeah.
what is like one piece of clothing that someone like me should have in my
Mm.
closet that's just a great go-to that you can build off of and create
Yeah.
different looks with? Do you have a
Honestly, like I mentioned, I just a perfectly tailored pair of pants because it is so versatile and you can wear them with different tops. You can dress it up, you can dress it down.
mm,
As far as someone in business, I would say, yeah, like a nice blazer or, a blazer trouser set is so needed. But just having pieces that fit you and your body perfectly is just, I mean, everybody needs that. No matter the height, that is just something that people need, or things that fit your body. Like, perfect.
mhm. Perfectly. No,
Yeah.
I love that. As you're talking, like it makes me wonder, like, do you feel like because this is more than a passion project now, like you've got a community growing, admiring you, loving you, and all that you're doing, does this feel like more of an intuitive, project? I know that women in business, we
Yeah.
work from a different skill set of our
Yeah.
emotional intelligence. Do you feel like that's coming into play for you?
I would say yes and no. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so just for example, I'm not a natural business owner. I think a lot of
Uh-huh.
creative people would say that. It doesn't come naturally. And in the beginning, because you wear so many hats, you have to learn and acquire all these different skill sets, and you have to research and pull data, and there's a strategy and a plan. However, I think when you're very clear on your vision and your values and your end goal and who you are, you can start to make those intuitive decisions really easily. And then so you mix intuition with strategy to, you know, take inspired action and make those informed decisions. So it's kind of a balance of both. But yeah, I do make a lot of decisions based on my gut and my intuition. And yeah, I think it's needed. It's kind of a pivotal moment, to have that
Yes,
intuition.
I think so. Yeah, I know. I mean, and as you might agree, it seems like I've been in business for, in this particular beauty, wellness, for about 3 years now. And since I started, things are now moving so much faster.
Oh yeah.
So, like everything, social media, marketing,
Hmm.
it all moves really fast now, even from just 3 years ago. So, I think that intuitive flexibility is very
Yes.
helpful to all that
Yeah.
you're doing. But there is some practicality involved, especially when you're designing clothes, right? Like you're reliant
Yeah.
upon provide suppliers and all of the people who are making the clothes.
Yeah.
I love what you're doing. Do you have an idea? Do you think you're going to sell online, or do you think you'll have a storefront, or all of it in
Yeah,
time?
just
How's it going to
to
work?
start, yes, there'll be online retailer. In my mind, with hopefully that this is successful and I continue on
Yeah.
and make more collections. I do have goals and dreams of, either um, doing wholesale and consignment in major stores, Nordstrom and Saks and things like that,
Okay.
or have my own storefront eventually. I mean, I'm sure
Yeah.
that's years, down
Yeah.
the
It's
line, but
coming.
it is a goal of mine. And it's funny, we have a city here called Winter Park. It's Park Ave. It's a strip. And I'll walk
Hmm.
down there with my husband and I'm like, one day I'm gonna have a store here. Like I just
Oh, I love.
envision it already. So I'm hoping this happens and comes true.
Uh-huh.
And because I think it's really important to have access to clothing in person because it is a challenge to order online, and that's kind of the downfall of online shopping. But yeah, hopefully one day I'll have
Oh
that
my
that
gosh.
retail storefront
I love it. And just so everyone knows, you're based in Miami, right? Or outside
in
of Miami?
Orlando, Florida. Orlando.
Orlando.
Mhm.
Excuse me. Yeah. Okay. Orlando. I got it
Everyone
mixed up.
says I'm from Miami. I don't know.
I
I
don't
don't know
know.
what it is,
Sorry.
but no, you're not the only one. Like everyone says, I should put
I've
Orlando.
No, I've been to Orlando many times. I grew up in the South and we went to Orlando, obviously, for our
Yeah.
vacations a lot. It's a beautiful, beautiful part of Florida. It's absolutely stunning. So they're lucky to have you there, based there.
Thanks.
Um, I'd love to just ask if there's any other part of your story that you'd like to share today. Is there something that is
Um,
you want to let us know about or
I
anything?
think as far as just like business and even like my personal life, I think, a big thing in a pivotal moment for me last year was just completely reinventing myself. I went into the new year with this like new mindset that I just wanted to completely change like mind, body, soul, everything. And I started working out again. And all last year, I lost 30 pounds. And I was, journaling every day and doing my meditations and um, just really changing your mindset can do wonders.
Yeah.
I just did a story on Instagram today that things happen and life happens. It's never going to be perfect, but having that strong mindset is everything, especially when you're going into business and just believing in yourself and knowing I'm 36, I'll be 37 this year, and doing this whole
Wow.
career change. And I'm just a firm believer that you're never too old to dive in and, you know, rewrite your story and become everything that you wanted to become. It's never too late to do that. So I kind of want to show people that too, is like, you can be any age and you can start over, or you can be any age and dress how you want. Who's to tell us like what to do, like what we can't do? So I
Absolutely.
do. I wanted to be an example and show people you can change your life at any moment.
Wow. Well, you're a really great example of that. I love that you're sharing that message because, so many of us do feel stuck sometimes. And you know, times are kind of crazy right now. Everything's
Mhm.
shifting. There's AI,
I
creating
know.
content for us. Like there's a lot of new shifts happening, but thank you for inviting folks to think about this because there is space
Yeah.
for your unique idea if you have one,
Hmm.
like
Yeah.
there's always space for more amazing, especially women in the
Yeah.
marketplace. I love supporting women business owners, and that's why I wanted to invite you on my podcast today.
Thank you.
My gosh, you are absolutely lovely. You are doing everything right. I want to know about I want to know about your workout program. I want to know about your skincare. Like,
Oh
do you
my
have
gosh.
is that so with exercise and this is something that's part of petite culture. You know, like if I eat a burrito, I physically look different in my
Oh,
tummy.
me too. Trust me.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
don't think people fully understand it, you know, because sometimes my plate looks a little different, but I have lots of food on it, but it's not the amount that or volume that some people can eat who are taller than me. And
Yeah.
I such a petite question. So, so when you approach something like a wellness shift, you know, I'm going to transform into a new person. Does that include what you're eating? Are you eating, like, do you eat less carbs or is that even a problem? Or, you know, I eat a lot of bread. I don't have any
Yeah.
problems with carbs, but how do you do it? Like, look at your
Yeah.
skin. It's absolutely
Thank you.
beautiful. You're so lovely.
Thank you. So, as far as like the diet and exercise, so a little background. I was a former bikini champion. So I did bodybuilding competitions before I had my son. This was years ago.
Okay.
And so I have that knowledge already on, what exercises to do to transform my body and how to eat. And
Okay.
um, what happened was, again, back in 2022, I had gained a whole bunch of weight. I blame COVID because I did the complete opposite. I started drinking a bunch and eating really unhealthy and just completely
Me too.
sedentary. And
Me too.
it was like you either went one way or the other. Some people like lost a bunch of weight, or some people didn't. So
Hmm.
I was on the other the other spectrum, and I just started to feel really just like down on myself and moody, and I knew something had to give. I was so fatigued all the time, and I really decided to, pursue my health. And I went to the doctor, and come to find out I was allergic. I took the blood allergy test. I was allergic to all eggs, all dairy, and I had celiac. And
Oh my
I knew,
gosh.
yes, at that moment, I had to make a huge drastic change in my diet. And so that was in part to the major weight loss was I had a major diet change. Um, but I felt so much better. And now, I mean, the main focus to me, I never eliminate anything except
Yeah.
for obviously the things I'm allergic to. But I focus on getting adequate protein,
Hmm.
eating a lot of fats. I think people shy away from fats. I will eat a bunch of avocados and nuts and chia
Yeah.
seeds and all the good healthy fats, and I'll still have all my fruits and my berries and gluten-free
Hmm.
bread now.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think it's really important to eat the best for your body, and not deprive yourself of anything, because that's where a lot of restriction, and then you binge because you've restricted for so long, and then it becomes a vicious cycle. So
Yeah.
just being really intuitive with yourself and allowing yourself, moments to eat desserts and have, cake with friends and drinks, and there's that balance. So trying to get that balance is really important. But as far as like my skin, and I will say that is very much genetics. I have good genes. My grandmother right now, she is 96 years old and she looks like she's 70. And same with my mother. Like they just age really well. We're
Hmm.
very naturally greasy people, and I think that has a lot to do with it. But
Absolutely. Yeah.
I know, like I started tretinoin last year,
Hmm.
and I do highly, highly recommend that. I think that's just like, the golden standard for
Hmm.
skincare. Getting rid of all those like fine lines and wrinkles. And it
Hmm.
did take me a while to get my skin acclimated to it, but I've definitely seen a difference.
Great.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. It's actually one of the only proven things
Yeah.
to minimize fine lines and wrinkles. So yeah,
Mhm.
that's so great that you're able to use it. I love everything you're telling me. So you naturally have wonderful, like, skin that has nice
Well,
oil
it's
in it.
I've got a nice light on me now. In person, it's a little different. I do have texture and all the things.
No, I get you. I've got lights on me too. It's all about the lighting, y'all.
Yeah.
But I think in your case, you're absolutely lovely, and I'm just want to celebrate you and coming into your own in your mid 30s, finding your passion, expressing it into the world. I can't wait to watch all that you do, and I'd love to catch up again when when
Yes.
the next the next evolution happens with your business and just to see all of your designs in action. It's going to be so
Thank you so
exciting for
much. I
you,
really
Jessi.
appreciate it. Thank
Oh my gosh.
you.
Well, you've got a big fan over here in San Francisco, and I I would love to come out to like a trunk show or something if you have anything, any
Oh my
little
gosh,
surprises
yeah.
happening in the future, any events. Just
That would
I'll
be
look for
amazing.
them on
Yes.
Instagram.
Yes.
So we'll put all of your handles and links in the show notes, but you can find Jessi at Petite Culture on Instagram. Is there
Yes.
anything else
At
you wanna
Shop
share?
Petite Culture.
Excuse me.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Shop
Shop Petite Culture, yeah.
Petite Culture. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm just excited. It all feels surreal. Like I feel like it's not even real yet, but it is, and I'm
Yeah.
excited. I'm really hoping that I make everyone proud and that they love the designs. I've been working so
Yeah.
hard for over a year now. It's crazy, but it's finally here. So
Oh,
just
it's
just a
exciting.
few more months and it'll be out.
Oh yeah, I'm so excited for you. And it speaks a lot to your leadership that you've been able to like really launch this so quickly because it's so difficult to have full on fashion house.
Yeah.
Shop Petite Culture Fashion House. I'm so excited about it. Well, thank you so much for being here. I really
Thank you so
appreciate it.
much. I had a great
Sharing
time.
all
This is
your little
awesome.
beauty secrets. Excellent. Okay, well, we'll see you later. Bye bye bye.